Sir, you've got a mission. FSB London called that they are having some water problems with all this rain, so you'll need to sling load some tools and supplies out there. The package is being prepared down there, at the depot area, in the northeastern corner of the base.
Roger that, Sergeant. Alright, let's rock and roll.
Well, that's pretty... Oh, I don't know. Cheesy is a word? There are various different things that the Army says that is considered acceptable, like hooah. Although, in fairness, I haven't heard that very much anymore. So maybe it's dying the death it blissfully deserves. Yeah, sometimes, just speak in plain English. Actually, the Army sometimes just gets things for the sake of doing things. I mean, like, for X many years, when I was growing up, the term car bomb was perfectly acceptable. Because there were lots of them, being in Ireland. However, the Army says that is not the correct term. It should be vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. Start on. And there are a couple other things. So mispronunciation is another one. I never quite understood the pronunciation in America, in the United States, of various French words, which are backwards. So, what is that noise that just went on? It wasn't important. There we go.
Clear.
But there are some backwards. So, for example, a two-door car with a cut back, the French for to cut being coupe, ER. But when it is cut, something has been cut, it is coupe with E with an accent. Yet in America, in the United States, they say coupe. I'll be very curious if Canadians watching this, do you say coupe or coupe for the car? Because you should have the correct French influence courtesy of the Quebecois. Yet I will come across so many Americans that would refer to a weapons cache, which is wrong. It's a cache. No accent on the noun. Alright. Let's do this. Turn this on. Oh, I forgot to do the nav. Let's not forget that this time, shall we? Should be about 65 if I recall correctly. Close enough. And one of the problems wearing a VR headset is that if you need to scratch an itch, you got to take the damn thing off. Give me a moment. Okay, itch has been dealt with. Radios. Okay, we're going to London this time. It's on the eastern side. London is 4175. Oh, first we got to get the 38.6. Well, $41.75. Anderson is 251. Oh, 1262. Let's do 1262. And on UHF and VHF. So this should be UHF. 2 is UHF, 3 is VHF AM. No, I want VHF. Silly me. Let's go back to 1. So one is VHF FM, VHF FM, and UHF will leave there. Not that we're talking to anybody, but let's turn it on anyway. I think we are ready to hop over to the far side. Let's check which bay I'm in. I'm in the second bay. Okay. Let's cross over. I forgot to request permission to leave. In Illinois has been marked on the map. Use built-in radio menu to select the cargo. Now this took me a little while to figure out, but the normal commo menu isn't going to work in this sim. The way the scenario designer has written this thing, it's gone beyond the levels of like real radio. And also you may have noticed that the F10 map doesn't show your current location. And the nice thing is that Guam is not exactly a big island, so you go in any direction for a few miles, you'll figure out where you're going. But you have to go to co-pilot push-to-talk intercom is what you have to bind. The regular combo menu is not going to do it. Cargo at FSB London, 3/4 of a ton, and there we go. You can't really hear a jet go by in a helicopter, can you? Okay. Let's go into the smoke. Okay, I seem to have missed. Let's go forward. Yes, into the smoke. I sense a small flaw with the scenario design here. Oh, come on, I can't see a damn thing. Oh. That'll help.
Right.
So, for 25... I can't see a thing. Turn off the smoke.
Forward. 30. In position.
No, I am? Okay, good. Ah, I'm dragging it around.
The line is tight. Load is hanging steady. Take it away.
Well, hopefully it was... swing it round. Okay, it was 2 something. .227. And let's turn on the homing. Do I have the freak wrong? London, 4175, 4175. That's annoying. There we go. I guess I needed to reset that. Hopefully those tools weren't too fragile. Okay, it looks like going more or less in the right direction.
Here we come. Hey, don't look so tense. It should be an easy one. You just got here, right? Yeah, last week. But I haven't done much flying, to be honest. Don't worry, you'll be okay. Just watch and learn.
Yeah, says the veteran. I'm on his fourth mission. Although I am the aircraft commander, so I guess I can get new guys. Okay, well, let's set the autopilot. So if you look up at the indicator gauge, you can see the white is where the co-pilot has the various different controls. So when you take over from the co-pilot, match up your control to his control, and that'll make the transmission a little bit easier. Yeah, a little bit left to center, but I'm a little right off course, but okay. Right, so yeah, let's see what I look like on the outside. I don't know, all I can see is fog.
Yeah, it's paradise.
Excuse me.
The weather.
Yeah.
Minor details, though. Paradise lost. It's got a couple of good waves, too. Do you surf?
I can see an Apocalypse Now thing coming.
Hey, I might have my board shipped here and give it a go. It's too bad the best spots are south of the front line. Good luck with that.
What? They missed the Charlie Don't Surf reference? That's a little bit disappointing, actually. Okay, I'm definitely a little bit off center here. I'm kind of looking at my homing needle and the various different gauges at the same time. Let's come right a little bit more. So I don't know what it is. I guess it must have been a little bit more pleasant to be in the armies in the 80s and 70s and 80s because, well, at least in the 80s. Because in the 80s, it kept invading Caribbean places. The army keeps sending me to deserts. Yeah, let's go to Iraq. Let's go to Afghanistan. Okay, maybe Afghanistan isn't technically a desert. But it was dry and gray, brown. Even in the winter, for whatever reason, I seem to be the one little microclimate valley in Afghanistan, in Metholam, Lagman province, that it didn't snow in winter. You go to the Jalalabad, you go to Bagram, it snowed. But it was generally pleasant, I have to say, for most of the year. But it was still grey and dusty and hot in the summer. Then, of course, spent time in Fort Irwin, spent time in Fort Bliss. There was, in the 80s, you'd invade Panama, you'd invade Haiti, you'd invade Grenada. And we're off kilter to the right again. Well, that's our international airport, which is very definitely in a southwest to northeast orientation. So if you recall last episode, that's how I realized that I was off track. What Army Land Nav calls terrain association, in official pilot speak, is apparently called pilotage or pilotage. I've always thought orienteering should be a subject that the Army should do more of, but they don't do it. Okay.
London, this is Blackjack 2-1,
Okay, almost getting close. I'll take off the autopilot.
We're 02 from your position from the north. Request artillery advisory, over.
02? Okay, definitely too high.
Roger, 2-1. You're cleared via direct. We have nothing going on at this time, over.
Well, that makes it easy.
Roger.
Left of center. Well, that must be our target, that smoke. Let's see what size base they give me to land in this time. What was the length of that rope, by the way? 25 feet? That's a good sized base. Did I forget to turn on the radar altimeter? No? Am I just too high? Okay, let's slow down a little bit here. There we go, 1,500 feet. Definitely going a little bit too fast here. Alright, let's swing around. I have no idea what sort of aerobatics you can do with a sling load attached. I can see the helo is penduluming a little bit. Alright, let's slow it down. And I'll put my thumb on the auto hook release before before I actually need it. Well, let's see a group of people there, so let's see about dropping it off in that little section. Oh, that's never good.
Roger that.
Okay. Stop going up. I'm at 100 feet, 90, 80. Go a little further. Too much. There we go. And let's drop it. Oh, I'm losing it. Oh, come on. That must have dropped it. Let's check. Yep, it's on the ground. Alright, let's land. It's a nice big spot will do. What are they? They look like barrels?
Son, thank you for the supplies. We appreciate the support.
You're welcome.
Listen, do you think you could do some artillery spotting for us? We've been trying to hit an enemy outpost all day, but this fog is getting in the way.
Huh. Oh well. Have to accept the task or decline. That strikes as being one of those things where there's like only one acceptable option. Alright, we'll accept the new
We'd be
task.
happy to help.
Yay!
Good. The outpost is about 5 clicks to the southwest, right about here. Get up to 2,000 feet, then let us know when you have a visual. We'll start firing. Watch out. We think they have a 50 up there.
Okay.
Roger that.
Alright, so let's... Oh. Alright, there's London. And that must be our outpost. Okay, enemy outpost. So it's about, yeah, let's say 220 degrees. It looks like you cross... Oh, look, you cross a golf course. So we navigate by golf course. A nice long lake. Any roads? Oh, golf course. Oh, there's a river. Okay. So, river, left fork, and here. So... Okay, fair enough. Let's see what we find. Let's turn you down. We have a volume option. Yeah, there we go. I should have done this ages ago. Alright, let's go. Look out, guys. To the south. Oop, too far. About 22. And up to 2,000 feet. How's this actually going to work, I wonder? Okay, first things first, I'm looking for a golf course. Is that a golf course? Oh, okay, there's a... Oh, this is a short trip. There's a little oblong lake. So the river must be in that valley. Spacebar when have eyes on the outpost. What we got here? Oh, yep. That's them.
London, this is 2-1. We have eyes on the outpost. Roger, here comes the first round.
One of the... You're supposed to say shot out and splash out so I know when to look. Oh, that fell short. Alright, so we add a couple of hundred. Oh, come on. Correct. Well, he fell north. Short was north, so we'll correct south.
Correction, about 200 yards to the south.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Roger, we're firing another round.
Actually, I do not want to be within line of fire of this thing, but okay. Hopefully I'm high enough it's not gonna hit me. Oh, good lord. That was... That was west, I think, wasn't it? No, it was east. Let me get my orientation. He was flying around in circles. So yes, let's shoot to the west.
Good. Come west another 100 yards.
Where the hell did it go?
Firing another round.
Is that it? Oh, that was it. Well, that seemed to be on target. Close enough for artillery purposes. They say once you get it within 50 yards, you're on. Alright, so fire for effect.
Right on the money. Fire for effect.
Yeah, okay, the radio calls should be wrong. It should be add, drop,
Roger. Thanks for the help.
left or right. Alright, let's go home. Yep, there we go. Oh, no. Yeah. Alright, good enough. Right, which way's home? That's what you get for shooting at me. Ha! Oh yeah, he's done. Okay,
This is Lizard 2-2, inbound from the north and crossing your airspace at 1,500 feet. Artillery advisory, please.
who's Lizard 2-2?
Roger that, Lizard 2-2. Found coordinates Bravo, Quebec 5481, about 5-6. Max orbit 1,000 feet. Over. Copy that, London. Thank you.
That's got to be AGL. But even at that, 1,000 feet isn't exactly big. Sorry, high. I mean, it's like direct fire, which makes no difference. So I presume it's low charge direct fire. Anyway, well, I made a bit of a change. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in DCS before. Wonder how they scripted that. No, wrong way. I'm looking at the reciprocal. So 220 should be what, 40? There we go. Right, home. What was it? Home again, lickety split or something? I'm sure there's a poem of some sort that I'm missing. Alright, set the autopilot and head for home. Not exactly a smooth takeover, that was it, mate? Of course, I guess there is history.
This is London. FSB Dublin just called. They need you if you have enough fuel.
Sure I do. Oh yeah. FSB Dublin is 40.35. Space bar to contact Dublin on the FM radio. Okay.
Dublin, this is Blackjack 2-1. We've heard you need some help, over. 2-1, this is Dublin. We need you to stop by and pick up some body bags and fly them back to company HQ. We've been hit hard by mortar fire last night. The wounded have already been evacuated.
Oops, wrong button.
Lots of KIA too. Roger that. Sorry to hear about your loss. We'll be there in a few minutes.
One of those hills over there. But navigating my Golf, if you haven't seen the movie Bat 2-1, if I recall, it's Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington, which apparently is based off of a real story. So some guy did, with more than typical knowledge, and he couldn't afford to be captured. Ends up crash landing in Vietnam, and because he knew various golf courses off by heart, directions were given to him by the golf course. So go this course, 17th hole, whatever, and there's no way that the opposition were likely to track him, of course, because it was the day before the internet, and it was unlikely that anybody there in the VC knew golf courses. You know, okay, we happen to have a map of the golf courses of the U.S. in our headquarters in Hanoi. Well, you never know. I guess stranger things have happened. Okay, that must be our smoke there. Haha. Good eye, though. I didn't see him. Okay, I need to let them deal with gunning. I need to get back to flying the helicopter. So our left gunner again. He's a good shot, I have to give him that. So when you take your pilot's test, your basic pilot's test, one of the things that's supposed to happen is the examiner is supposed to give you a distraction, a quote, realistic in-flight distraction. And you know, you read up about it, things like, oh, he'll open the door in flight. What you can do in a light aircraft like a Cessna 172, because it's not going fast enough that you can't at least open it ajar. But my guy, he was an evil little guy. As I'm in the landing pattern, he just strikes up a casual conversation. And fortunately, you know, rule one in flying is no matter what else is going on, fly the aircraft. So, fortunately, I got that right. I mean, I kind of engaged him in conversation, but it was obvious I was giving him as.
Damn, look at that mess. I'm sure glad we're late for the party.
Now, why can't I hover like this normally? So it was obvious I was actually paying more attention to flying than talking to him, and I was giving it to him as processes allowed. But that was an evil little one, I have to say. And it wasn't until after the exam was over, and I was thinking to myself, well, what happened to the in-flight distraction? That I realized, oh, that was the distraction.
Okay, all clear, let's go.
So that's oh yeah, I gotta take him to headquarters. 48.5. Right, yeah. Probably gonna be a little back heavy now. And howitzer burning?
Jesus H. Christ!
Yes.
Back there, Chief.
That's a bit of a delay. Where am I going?
Got ripped open. This guy's got nothing left below the waist and not much up above either. I think I'm gonna throw up. How many bags do we have? 6, 7, 8. 8 bags. Christ. It don't make no sense. We're dying out here in the middle of the damn Pacific while those goddamn hippies back home are making us look like the bad guys. I think they're pissed at LBJ and McNamara. Hell, I'm pissed at them for running the war this way too. No, my sister wrote me. She says they're throwing dog shit at soldiers returning to the States at the end of their tour. You've gotta be kidding me. That's freaking insane. This whole thing is pure insanity. It is. I just hope I make it. Don't worry, you'll be just fine.
So as I say, so to finish the last thought, no matter what else is going on, priority number one is fly the aircraft. Alright, body bags and returns. So we were very fortunate. In our Iraq deployment, we didn't lose anybody. And the only KIA we had in Afghanistan was actually an attachment to us, an Air Force MP, or whatever they call them, and his dog were killed in a mine strike. But we got out, our own unit got out of that. A few perforations or whatever, but nobody killed. And so yeah, you'd have this ceremony. Of course, everybody would line up, make you a perfect target. But I'm told they eventually stopped doing these because the opposition also realized they were perfect targets. But you all line up, and you'd the body bag would be transported past everybody on the way to the helipad for evacuation. But the army got into a bit of a mindset for a while of taking casualty averseness a little bit too far. To the point that Rule 1 for Iraq, remember we were talking about this overseas, was don't get killed. Which, okay, that's a pretty good rule of thumb, but you're there to do a job. And if the priority was to just not get killed, I mean, guys, can we just get not killed in California instead of coming out to Iraq and getting not killed? Which apparently didn't go over all that well.
This is Blackjack 2-1. We're 5 mics from your facility from the south. Request via direct helipads. Roger that, 2-1. You're cleared over the northern pad. Over.
Alright, northern pad it is. Hell, when was I taking a majors course? About 2012, maybe? I remember we were doing, it was like a division attack, a heavy division attack into a core. And one of the proposed commander's critical information requirements, they're basically, hey, if this happens, you better damn well tell the boss, was death of a soldier. Because for the last 6 years, that had been a commander CCIR, especially at the battalion level. And I'm there going, guys, the division commander isn't going to care if one guy gets killed. He's not going to care if a platoon gets killed. If he loses a company, perhaps. If he loses a battalion, yeah. But you're fighting World War III, you were going to lose people. And I have a feeling too many people have forgotten that if you're having a real war, as opposed to a counterinsurgency or police action, whatever I want to call it, Koreans, forgive me, you are going to take casualties. There's no getting around it. It's the cost of business. There's our base. As for coming home, obviously we had a much better return than the folks in Vietnam. They were quiet. I mean, no ticker tape parades or anything, although we did get, if I recall, some fire trucks. Okay, I went a little bit too far. But the whole thank you for your service bit is very, I don't know what's the best way of putting it. Uncomfortable, perhaps? I mean, how do you really respond? You're welcome? I mean, I'm doing it because I get well paid. And it's fun. And it's a thing I think needs doing, but it's a job. I think I'm getting a bit better at this landing business.
All right, boys, let's get him out.
That's not to say I'm not going to use the perks as they come available. The military discounts or getting on the airplane first. There are practical realities.
Good lord, this stench. Okay, let's get out of here. I think I'm gonna skip dinner today.
38.6. I don't think there's homing on that, but I'll get it on for the radio anyway. There are other practicalities as well. So one of the advantages, wrong button. One of the advantages in Texas is you get free parking. Whoops. Where do you come from? You get free parking at the airport. At least up to a certain amount of time. But it's a valuable thing. I've saved several $100s at this point using this privilege. But in order to earn it, or not earn it, but in order to avail of it, you've got to have certain license plates, like disabled veteran or a certain level of meritorious service plate. So if you're running like an Army Commendation Medal plate, and they do exist, I don't know why you'd put one on your car, you're not going to get the advantage. But if you get to a high enough level, I think MSM, I run Bronze Star plates, then you get the free parking. And people, well, why? Look, why do I want to advertise? Why do I? And of course, the Army counterintelligence people or security people will tell you, don't advertise your service. Well, yeah, you say don't advertise my service, but hundreds of dollars in parking fees that you don't have to pay. So, like most other eligible people in Texas, I run the service plates. And it is a practical benefit, which I appreciate. I mean, it's not as if they didn't do it, then I wouldn't stay in the Army or anything, but, well, that's the airfield over here, isn't it? Let's see if ATC is talking to me now. But I'm Blackjack 2-1. I'm curious what these other ones were. Single helipad, inbound.
Uzi 2-1, inbound.
Doesn't seem to have made a difference. There are other benefits as well. So, for example, the state does low interest financing if you want to buy property. I think it's really designed for if you want to buy an empty plot of land or something, but I see no reason you couldn't use it to buy a house if you wanted to. It also gives you priority, so if there's a tax lien and the property is seized, it's made available to veterans first. There's a couple of other benefits. There's like a state version of the GI Bill called the Hatch Act. So if you deploy as a Texas Guardsman, you get state education benefits. I'm not doing a sales pitch for the Army here, by the way. I'm just stating a few things. It's kind of I'm very much in two minds on the whole service concept, military service concept. I'm glad I've done it. It has opened up so many opportunities to me, and other benefits, like the single most important benefit is the VA mortgage. And people talk about a GI Bill for college education. No, I guarantee you it's a VA mortgage, so you can get on the property ladder. I've cascaded my second GI Bill down to my son, incidentally. But as I said, I'm glad I've done it. But I'm not going to recommend my kid does it, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to push him towards it. If he wants to, okay, fine. But probably put into the Air Force or Space Force. And talking to other veterans, they seem to be of more or less a similar opinion. And I'm sure Recruiting Command aren't too thrilled with me for saying this, but it really is a very strange sort of... It costs so much out of your time and your freedom, and of course there's always the risk of death, but that happens with firefighters and cops and most anybody else. But yeah, it also opens up so many doors, and you also have so many benefits. So it really is a risk reward, I guess. Has to be an individual decision. If you're considering it, want to join, go with my blessing. And if you choose that it's not for you, nothing wrong with that. That's why we have a volunteer force. Come on, let's go just left a little bit here. Oh, come on. The other guys make it look easy. I just want to go left a foot, for Christ's sake. There we go. No, I've gone too far. Close enough. Right, that was that. And I haven't lost fuel pressure this time. Okay, I will shut it down and talk to you on the next mission. Take care.